Hey, how you doing, Econ teachers? This is Jacob Clifford. My guest today is Greg Caskey. If you've not seen his stuff, he's got interesting stuff. New, exciting, HipHoponomics. So tell me about what you're doing.
Well, I've been rapping since middle school. And yeah, basically, over the course of my grad school experience at the University of Delaware, each student had to create a 2-year-long project to advance the field of economics in some way. And I knew immediately I wanted to produce hip-hop albums.
Sure.
Right? So kind of wanted to get back in the hip-hop game. It had been dormant for a couple years there. And so over the last 2 years, I produced 2 full-length hip-hop albums.
2. How many tracks in each one?
7 or 8 or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
on each one?
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so HipHoponomics Volume 1 released in June of 2016.
Okay.
That has 7 or 8 kind of random collection of really solid songs. There's a minimum wage song, there's stuff on trade, there's a lot of different things. But my last album, HipHoponomics Volume 2, is more thematic. It's called The Man, the Myth, Adam Smith, and it's a lyrical distillation of Adam Smith's key ideas.
Cool. So we know why you did it. By the way, I also went to University of Delaware. It's a pretty cool program. Blue Hens?
Blue Hens.
Blue Hens. I'm not sure how you say it. I was only there for a couple summers. You actually graduated from University of Delaware.
Yeah.
Just no, there's nothing behind it.
Delaware's a great place where I live, and it's awesome.
Cool, awesome. You do remember Wayne's World when they said it's the least important state?
I don't want to bring that up, yeah.
Being able to be magically whisked away to Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware.
So the next question is, how do you use this stuff with students? So let's say a teacher comes across one of your songs and they want to talk about trade with their students and they see your song. How do you use it?
Fantastic, yeah. Well, that's perfect because one of my songs off the most recent album is called The Battle for Trade, and it's set up as a rap battle between a free trader and a protectionist, right? Because what a relevant topic and a really deep topic that is important for the students to understand if they want to engage with current events, right?
Right.
So the way to use it is it's great to have lyrics in front of each student. It's a lot of content to take in just listening to it,
right.
But if they have lyrics in front of it, and this is the way I do it in my classroom, I have each student take out a pen or highlighter,
right.
And I said, look for the arguments on each side and highlight them, right? So we listen to the song usually through twice, and they try and pull out the arguments, and then at the end of it, we put up like a T-chart on the board, and it becomes sort of a competitive experience amongst the students whereby they're trying to each kind of outdo one another in terms of the deeper
spotting
the deeper insight.
Yeah,
and
that's something I do want to mention is your videos, and if you haven't seen them yet, you should. Your songs, they're deep. Like they're not just surface level. Trade is good. Trade is good. We like to trade, right? Protectionism is bad. There's a lot. There's a lot of unpacking to do, right? So I could also see possibly working with an English teacher, possibly, and doing some cross-curricular stuff where they're using basically this poetry and connecting it in one class and connecting the content in another class. I mean, there's a lot of different uses of this stuff. Okay, so let's talk about our experience today. If you haven't seen the video, this is kind of the behind-the-scenes interview of the video that we made today. I live in San Diego, and of course, Greg is from Delaware, and
phenomenal
so he
state.
Was in town. Delaware was a phenomenal state? Or?
Yeah. Very phenomenal state.
Okay. He came into town. He's been traveling with his wife, and then he came down to San Diego. We met up here in the studio, and then we filmed several shots in here, and then we went around different places. We're here at Jor Muffler. I want to thank these guys for letting us shoot at their place. They've got the big man you saw in the video out there.
Kicked out of a casino.
Kicked out. We actually tried to shoot in a casino. We're not going to mention the casino. Valley View. Valley View. That we didn't even get in the door in that place.
Yeah.
We only wanted a quick scene because it was talking about decision making, benefits and costs, and that's all we wanted to do. And that happened. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
The library was pretty cool.
Got kicked out of a grocery store.
Kicked out, yeah. Man, she was nice about it though.
Yeah,
she was like, "You guys got to put this away." And we're like, "Okay."
Yeah, we were just like in the produce section. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna have to take that down.
You got it. No problem. Thank you. Yeah, and then the library was cool because we happened. This is true. We happened to set up the tripod, and by chance we ended up exactly in the economic section. And we could have picked any row anywhere, obviously in the library. I don't know the Dewey Decimal System.
And there was Thomas Sowell.
Yeah. So here we are. We're at the library. We're trying to be real quiet. And there's Econ, there's Krugman, and it's just there. It was just there, which is awesome.
It was a really poignant moment for both of us.
So It was a pleasure making that video with you.
Likewise.
It was awesome to be able to work with other people. I'm excited about working with anybody as I'm now leaving the classroom. And of course, you're excited about working with anybody. Tell everybody about some of the things you've been doing and who you've been working with now that your album's dropped and now you got this thing out there.
Right. Well, the last year has been a really phenomenal professional experience for me as I've released this album. So it's got a lot of attention regionally in the Philadelphia area and also some national attention. So the biggest example of that would be the column written by the economist Walter Williams, who's come. It's been an honor that he's come to speak to my students over the last 3 years a few times. And yeah, basically to have his endorsement on my work meant the world to me, because he was one of the key guys that made me fall in love with economics and the idea that it can be conveyed in a fun and meaningful sort of way to the layman.
And he's a character, apparently, too.
He's a real character.
Yeah. He come to your classroom.
Yeah, look him up if you don't know who he is. Walter E. Williams. He's Julius Erving's cousin, by the way, which is a fun fact.
Had no clue.
Yeah, Dr. J.
Okay.
And I've also got to collaborate with the economist Russ Roberts over the past year. So look up his video. It's called It's a Wonderful Loaf. It's got a couple million looks on YouTube and Facebook. And I've got to create some resources to go along with that video and Skype with him and stuff like that. And he Skyped in my classroom. So out of this experience has come some collaborations that I could have never dreamed of. And I'm just looking to keep it. I didn't even mention this one with Jacob Clifford. I mean, like one of the top University of Delaware graduates ever, along with Chris Christie. Just phenomenal.
I know Chris Christie went to Delaware. I've never shut down a bridge before, unfortunately. But you know what? That's super cool. What a great opportunity! What a great opportunity! We can shut down a bridge, and we make a video about that incident, and make a video about policy and about the idea of the government getting involved.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to shut down a beach for personal sunning. That's my next goal.
That's something completely different. That's great. That's right. We make fun of politicians on this broadcast. I'm not even sure what to call this. So obviously, this is not a podcast. This is the video of you and I talking. What a great opportunity to have you in the studio. This is my first time. You're my first guest. I want you to know that.
It's an honor. So let me just put this down there.
Just put it down. Leave it up. I thought you meant like drink it. Put it down. Let me just put this down.
You never know when I'm like using hip hop jargon or speaking regularly.
Oh, I guess the most important question we have to ask ourselves, and this is what we try to cover in the video, is why learn economics? I mean, what a big concept. And students think, your econ class is about money. When they walk in the room, they think it's about personal finance, and they're kind of surprised to find out it's all about scarcity and choices, right? And so you did a great job writing the lyrics for the song, but ultimately, what I do is I want to ask you to tell everybody, in just regular human speak without the poetry, why should students learn economics? Why should we put all this energy and time in economic education, and why kids who aren't really bought into econ should be bought into econ?
Well, I wrote this little sonnet to correct misinformation on the topic.
Okay.
About the money in your wallet. It's a toolkit. Oh, sorry, no poetry.
I've heard that before.
Darn.
I've heard that.
Well, it was really fun writing this song, and I'd be interested in getting your thoughts on the very same topic, why students should want to learn about this. But basically, it was a real delight writing this song and trying to capture all the reasons why and kind of solidify them into a song.
Right.
And I got a lot of input from other teachers that I really respect on this same question, and their ideas kind of made it into the song too.
Right.
But I guess that what it boils down to is economics is a toolkit for the mind to help the student understand not only the world in a deeper way, like the current events that are happening in the world, but also understanding themselves in a deeper way, and like why they make the decisions that they do and why they have the preferences that they do. And I think that, and I never got to take this in high school. I never encountered it until college. And even then it didn't really grab me. It wasn't until I had to teach it that I realized how rich of a discipline it was for the mind. And I'm like, darn, I really wish I could have been one of my 10th graders taking in this stuff. And I probably wouldn't have made half of the stupid decisions that I made if I could have had some economic understanding. And I would have been a better interpreter of the world and the events in the world. Because the world, like current events, just don't happen randomly. It's like things don't happen in a vacuum. They happen because of decisions of individuals. And I think that's a deep, yet simple insight that comes from economics.
And the incentives that are at play.
No doubt.
Right? For sure. So there you go. Again, I hope you had a chance to watch our collaboration, our video we made together. I want to thank Greg for coming out into San Diego. It was a pleasure working with him, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
Keep watching for his albums. They come more out. We've talked about some things he's going to do. There's some cool things coming
this
out.
fall.
And keep watching my videos. So thanks for watching. Until next time.
Peace.